Today marks my 2 years on YouTube. It's unfortunate, but I have some bad news. Today marks my 2 years on YouTube. I remember like it was yesterday when I did my very first vlog. The entire time I thought I was looking at the right area of my camera, and then I published it, and the entire vlog I noticed that I was looking in the wrong direction. I think it's important to mention that I only do YouTube as a hobby. I really enjoy the creative side of gathering content and creating a storyline and publish several episodes a month. Most of the DIYs that I do on this channel is pretty simple and basic, and that's the idea behind it, is to encourage the average renter or the average car enthusiast to try and do things themselves instead of taking their car to a shop or hiring somebody else to come over and do it for them. I've done several episodes covering oil changes, and one of the main reasons why I advocate for this is not only because of the maintenance aspect, but also being able to save money. Depending on your car, you could save anywhere from $40 to several hundreds of dollars. So there's a lot of savings. Episode 23 remains my highest viewed vlog. Something as basic as installing a front lip, which is something that most car enthusiasts do to their cars as one of their first modifications. So that's something that drew a lot of viewers. Valve cover gaskets is a common culprit when it comes to oil leaks. On episode 40, I go through a step-by-step process on how to change it, so anyone with basic tools can pretty much do this job. I've always wanted to learn how to paint a car. In the past, I've always relied on shops to do it for me, so on episode 43, I go through the step-by-step process. Then there are some more advanced DIYs which take more time and planning to execute. On episode 58, I go through the steps of how I went about converting my car to rear-wheel drive and taking advantage of the benefits of that conversion. One thing that I do want to focus on moving forward is doing more car features. I enjoy doing some photo shoots and video of cars as well as flying my drone. And for the past year or so, I haven't been actually using my DSLR camera. So I'd like to take that out again and start shooting cars more often. The channel's first car feature was on episode 12, and I feel like I rushed that job. Although I had a perfect car for the first feature, I didn't even interview my friend to talk about his car. I did a lot better on episode 21, which featured my buddy's white R35 GTR. I was able to incorporate some good B-roll, some shots with my drone, as well as some still shots with my DSLR camera. It's interesting because even though my buddy Mike with his red NSX is in this video, it wasn't until episode 47 that we featured his car. I want to bring back a couple of items that I couldn't cover on the last episode. So one thing I need to do is smog my M5 because registration is coming up. But before we do that, I want to do some household items on my cars and give it a good interior cleaning. As with most cars, all mine have carpeted flooring. So when it came down to floor mats, I chose to get the rubber ones because it's a lot easier to maintain and clean. So I focus on cleaning all the mats on all three of my cars. Now that all the household items are done, let's go ahead and fire up my M5 and head over to the Smog station. It's unfortunate, but I have some bad news. I tried to turn on my M5 this morning and I had some trouble starting it up. The reduced power light went on, which means the car's on limp mode. I can't pinpoint the problem right now, but just by the sound and the way it drives, I have a pretty good idea what's going on. There's a stigma behind the M5, particularly the XD models. They're prone to a lot of issues, but for the most part, since I've owned this car in 2018, it hasn't given me that much problems. There's a few things that went down. They were mainly wear and tear items, so it was expected. There have only been 2 occasions where I had to take my car to the shop, mainly because I didn't have the diagnostic tools to troubleshoot the exact problem. I regularly schedule the maintenance of all my cars, especially my M5, so it hasn't given me any problems, and it's actually been one of my most reliable cars. So what I'm going to do is, on the next episode, I'm going to do a full troubleshoot on what's going on with my M5 and try to tackle the issue and get it back on the road and running. On the last episode, I mentioned that I was going to cover an event in Ontario at the Porsche dealership that was canceled because of rain. So on the next episode, I'll be attending the event. That's going to do it for this episode. And thank you for sticking with the channel for the last 2 years. We look forward to a lot more features in the future. And we'll see you on the next one.